So, goodness gracious, I don't know about this hairstyle. The uh, the merchandise that World Preschool can sell is one thing is baseball cards, but have them art cards, trading art cards of visual performance, music, dance. Um, there's thousands and thousands, and through the ages, the history, the art history. So we would need, some people to make like art cards to trade, and I think they would sell pretty good to teenagers, and I guess you put a stick of bubble gum in them. So you charge like say $3.50, $3. Um, and maybe they cost us 25 cents to make. Maybe, of course, then you get to pay your staff to work it. But one thing I really like about that is that people, when they see it, they'll say, "Oh, well, let me look that up." Yeah, and now we have our cell phones or smartphones or computers to do that, so we can somewhat educate ourselves that way. And find out, as I grew older and found artists along the way that I just loved. One was Kandinsky, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've never seen this guy. And he was an abstract expressionist, and the way the story goes was he walked into a studio, and the landscape paintings had rubbed up against each other, and he was like, huh, this is a lot more powerful. And even though Thomas Jefferson didn't really collect art, I think if we had developed photography, he would have. Because it was a historical fact that this documented things. I mean, the Lewis and Clark expositions. Goya was an interesting painter. Um, so yeah, the baseball cards and the clothing. I guess my dream is to auction off paintings, starting at 1 million, because I think we have a lot of really great artists in this world that need that money, and that would be a way a patron could buy it, donate it to a museum, or take it home, and also know that 80% goes to World Preschool from each artist. They get 10 artists a year, and then we sell T-shirts, and they get 10% of that. Um, so yeah, it would have to be accepted. You'd have to apply and get accepted, and then auctioned off, and then if that's like $100,000 for a painting, and not many artists make that. So give people a chance to be seen and to be recognized for their work. And so we could sell prints of that, coffee mugs, different artists paint for different reasons. So it's individual, even though sometimes we get classified as a group, we all have our individual perspectives on things. And, I painted a long time, and I might go back to it again. And I was solving dilemmas in my mind of things I was thinking of that I was kind of disturbed by sometimes. And I didn't try to make a disturbing painting, but I did work it out visually. I think one of the ones was Shop, Shop, Shop. It's a green, does not go with your couch kind of painting. And I took the little doll and I put the dollar bill on it, as the face of Santa. And then he hopped. He would hop. I don't know where it went to, but that was a commercialism of Christmas that we have these days. And to me, I'm somewhat of a minimalist. Anything that belonged to my family, I sent back. So the hereditary sort of furniture and things like that. But it's nice not having so much stuff. I can just pick up and go, and when I get a car, I can just pick up and go, and everything will fit in the car. It reminds me of the Black Stallion, and he was in love with this girl, and she just got in a car and left. But I mean, I can do so. I've had farms. My family has a farm that's been in the family forever and ever. So for generations, the letters, we have big cases of letters, which are kind of interesting. A friend of mine, Georgia, was reading a book, and it's from the library, and it talked about how they were getting in the stagecoach to go out to Afton Farm to play cards with the Ellises. So yeah, you want to take care of those things because it's got historical context. I mean, I don't think in this day and age, I was out in Santa Fe and I met this really nice family, and they had 3 kids, and 3 kids slept in one room. It was a 2 bedroom, and we had pizza, and her husband was at work. But the close, you knew where the kids were. You knew because the house was small and had a little backyard. But to me, with the way prices of oil, until we get solar panels better, and that's for me. If I had a solar paneled charging station for an electric car, then I'd say success. But if you're running your electric car off coal and oil, we're not quite there yet. I do think it's coming. I think it's going to get better. We'll probably have solar powered airplanes in the future. I hope. I do curiously wonder how bad asphalt is because it is oil derivative, and we're all worried about plastics, but the water gets all over the asphalt and goes everywhere too. But yeah, there's creative ideas on how to support the school. People will choose to buy it. Number one, to support the school, and number two, they'll buy it because it's good quality merchandise they can't get anywhere else. And not exactly. And what else? Something else. Movie. Oh yeah, I've got some ideas on a movie that could be kind of hammered out with the right people. Um, that I think would be very successful. I've been through a lot. Been through a lot. And I'm not sad or sorry that I went through it. Um, but if it helps someone else in their lives, like if mental health care is one thing that I want a farm in each state to house people recovering from mental health out in the country where they can have gainful employment and help, feel like they're doing something instead of just sitting in a hospital with locked doors, nothing. And they're like, well, you got to leave. But you're like, but you don't have anywhere to go. You don't throw people with a broken leg just out on the street. It takes a while to heal. And hopefully one day we'll treat our friends and relatives better. None of my family hardly ever contacted me. They just kind of ran away. They didn't know what to do. It's kind of like when you go and you see an old person for the first time, you just kind of feel awkward. And it's like, ooh. And then you get to be that old person. But anyway, I think we could be solvent. It's going to take a little while, I want to buy the farm, and I hope that happens.